Listen to me. Procrastination is killing you. It's killing your dreams, your goals, your future. You'll keep waiting for the right moment, but let me tell you the truth. There is no perfect moment. Stop waiting for the perfect moment because the perfect time doesn't exist. You don't wait for the right conditions. You create them. You don't wait for fear to disappear. You move through it. You don't wait for confidence. You build it through action. The world doesn't stop spinning until you feel ready. Opportunity doesn't wait until you're comfortable. The only way to win is to start right where you are with what you have right now, and don't get it twisted. Your feelings will betray you. One day, you'll feel motivated, the next day you won't. If you live by your feelings, you'll quit every time it gets tough. That's why discipline over feelings is the key. Discipline is stronger than moves. Discipline doesn't care if you're tired, doesn't care if you're scared, doesn't care if you're in the mood. Discipline shows up when feelings check out. Champions aren't consistent because they feel good every day. They're consistent because they're disciplined every day. But here's why so many people still freeze. The dream looks too big. The mountain looks too high. And that's when you've got to break it down. Stop looking at the whole mountain. Just take the next step. You don't write a book in one night. You write one page at a time. You don't get in shape with one workout. You show up daily. Small actions, repeated consistently, are what make the impossible possible. Don't focus on the finish line. Focus on the step right in front of you. And while you're stepping, stop making excuses. Replace excuses with execution. Every excuse you give yourself is time you'll never get back. That time. I don't have time. I don't know how. Those are lies you tell yourself to stay comfortable. Meanwhile, someone with less than you is out there executing. Excuses don't deposit into your bank account. Excuses don't build your dream. Execution does. But here's the truth. You can't do it alone. Accountability's everything. Left to yourself, you'll negotiate your way right back into procrastination. That's why you need somebody who won't let you slide, even when you want to. Someone who challenges you, who calls you out, who demands more from you. Iron sharpens iron. If you're the sharpest one in your circle, you're in the wrong circle. Find someone who raises your standard. And finally, visualize the cost of waiting. Procrastination doesn't just delay your goals, it steals your future. Every tomorrow, you promise yourself is a piece of your destiny slipping away. The book you don't write, the business you don't build, the life you don't live, that's the cost. Failure is painful, but regret is devastating. Don't picture the work as a cost. Picture what happens if you don't do the work. That's the real price of procrastination. Listen to me. Procrastination is killing your dreams. You're sitting there waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect mood, the perfect environment, and while you wait, the clock is still ticking. There is no perfect time. The perfect time is when you decide to move. The perfect time is right now. You've got to stop letting your feelings run your life. Your feelings will say, I'm tired, I'll do it tomorrow. I don't feel motivated. Guess what? Success doesn't care about your feelings. Champions don't wake up every day motivated, they wake up disciplined. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. Stop looking at the mountain and telling yourself it's too big. Break it down. One page a day, one workout at a time. One call, one meeting, one step. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. But move. Because small, consistent actions will always beat massive procrastination. And enough with the excuses. Well, I don't have time. I'll start when I feel ready. I'll do it when things calm down. No, excuses don't deposit into your bank account. Excuses don't get you closer to your dream. Every second you waste explaining why you can't is a second someone else is using to win. You need accountability. Somebody in your life who loves you enough to tell you the truth. Someone who's not going to let you slack off. Not going to let you hit snooze. Not going to let you live below your potential. Because left to yourself, you'll keep negotiating with procrastination. And procrastination always wins that deal. Finally, I need you to see the cost. Not the cost of doing the work, the cost of not doing it. The degree you never finish. The business you never start. The dream you never live. The person you never become. Every time you delay, you're robbing your future. So here's the truth. The longer you wait, the further you get from the life you want. The only way to beat procrastination is to act. Not tomorrow, not later, right now. Because the future belongs to the person who shows up today. We live in a world where too many people are stuck in the waiting room of life. They're waiting for the stars to align, waiting for everything to be just right, waiting until the fear is gone, until they feel more confident, until they have more money, more time, more energy. But let me tell you the truth. You can wait your whole life, and that moment you're waiting for may never come. The perfect time doesn't exist. It's a myth. A lie. Procrastination feeds you so you stay exactly where you are. Think about it. The people you admire, the ones who built businesses, wrote books, transformed their bodies, or changed their lives, they didn't start because conditions were perfect. They started in the middle of doubt, in the middle of fear, in the middle of not knowing if it would work out. They didn't wait for confidence to show up. They built it through action. Confidence doesn't come before you move. It comes after you start. That's the trap of waiting. Waiting makes you think you're being smart, being cautious, being prepared. But waiting is often just fear wearing a disguise. Waiting says, what if I fail? What if I'm not ready? What if it doesn't work out? But the better question is, what if you succeed? What if the thing you've been dreaming about actually works because you finally had the courage to start? The truth is, the more you wait, the heavier the weight of regret becomes. Time doesn't pause for your hesitation. Every day you push it off is a day you don't get back. Opportunity doesn't wait around for you to feel ready. It moves, it passes by. And the longer you wait, the harder it is to catch up. You've got to understand something important. Action creates clarity. You don't figure it all out by sitting on the sidelines, thinking, planning, or waiting. You figure it out by stepping into the arena, by trying, by failing, by adjusting, and by growing. The people who win are not the ones who wait until they're fearless. They're the ones who act in spite of their fear. Your feelings are liars. One moment they'll tell you to chase greatness, and the next they'll tell you to hit the snooze button and roll back under the covers. Feelings are unstable. Feelings are inconsistent. If you live by your feelings, you'll live a life of constant ups and downs, starting strong and quitting even faster. That's why discipline must become your foundation. Because discipline doesn't care about moods. Discipline doesn't care about comfort. Discipline carries you when motivation is nowhere to be found. Think about it. How many times have you said, I'll start tomorrow, just because you didn't feel like doing it today? How many dreams have been buried under the weight of I don't feel like it? The gym doesn't care about your feelings. Your business doesn't care about your feelings. Your future doesn't care about your feelings. If you let your emotions run the show, you'll never be consistent enough to reach your potential. Discipline is different. Discipline is when you show up even when your body screams for rest. Discipline is when you put in the work, not because you feel like it, but because you made a decision and you're committed to it. Motivation gets you started, but discipline keeps you going when motivation walks out the door. Look at any champion in sports, business, or life, and you'll see the same pattern. They didn't just rely on excitement. They built routines. They created standards. They made non-negotiables. Their actions weren't dictated by whether they were in the mood. Their actions were dictated by their vision and their goals. Feelings are temporary. They shift with the weather. But discipline builds habits, and habits create a lifestyle. If you discipline yourself to work when you're tired, to study when you'd rather scroll, to practice when nobody is watching, you'll develop a strength most people never touch. That strength is what carries you through storms. That strength is what separates the people who dream from the people who do. When you look at a mountain from the bottom, it feels overwhelming. The peak looks so far away, the climb looks too steep, and your mind starts whispering, there's no way you can make it. That's exactly why so many people never start. They're staring at the whole mountain instead of focusing on the next step. Big tasks, big goals, big dreams, they always look impossible until you break them down. You don't write a book in one day, you write a page. You don't build a business overnight. You make one call, one sale, one connection. You don't transform your body in a week. You show up for one workout, then another, then another. Success is never the result of one giant leap. It's the accumulation of consistent small steps. Too many people are paralyzed because they want to see the entire path before they move. They want certainty. They want guarantees. But here's the truth. You'll never see the whole road from the start. You only see the next turn, and that's enough. If you just focus on what you can do today, one action, one step, you'll be shocked at how far you can get. The secret is momentum. When you chop the big picture into bite-sized actions, you make progress manageable. And progress, even small progress, creates energy. That energy builds belief, and that belief fuels more action. The cycle continues, and before you know it, what once looked impossible starts to feel inevitable. Break it down into pieces so small that procrastination has no room to live. If your goal is to run a marathon, don't stress about the 26 miles. Focus on running that first mile. If your dream is to save $10,000, don't obsess over the whole number. Start with $10, then $100, then $500. If your vision is to master a skill, don't worry about being an expert. Commit to 20 minutes a day of practice. Every mountain is climbed one step at a time. Every masterpiece is painted one brushstroke at a time. Every victory is earned one decision, one action, one moment at a time. The problem is, too many people look at the mountain and quit before they ever take the first step. Excuses are thieves. Every time you make one, it robs you of your time, your energy, your potential. Excuses sound good in the moment. They sound logical. They sound safe. They make you feel better about doing nothing. But when the day ends, you're still standing in the same place. And the only thing you've gained is regret. Every excuse you use is time you'll never get back. Think about it. How many times have you said, "I'll do it tomorrow"? Tomorrow comes, and you repeat the same line. You convince yourself you're just waiting for the right opportunity, the right timing, the right conditions. But while you're excusing yourself, somebody else is executing. Somebody else is using the same 24 hours you wasted to get ahead, to build, to grow. Excuses are easy because they let you off the hook. They give you an exit. I'm tired. I don't have enough money. I don't know where to start. It's too risky. But the truth is, those same challenges exist for people who are winning. They're tired too. They didn't have money either. They didn't know the whole plan when they began. The difference is, they moved anyway. Execution separates dreamers from doers. When you stop explaining why you can't and start focusing on what you can, everything changes. Instead of saying, "I don't have time," instead of saying, "I don't know how," you say, "I'll learn." Instead of saying, "I'm not ready," you say, "I'll grow as I go." That mindset shift kills excuses before they even leave your mouth. Because here's the truth, you'll never run out of excuses. There will always be a reason to delay, always a justification to wait, always a story you can tell yourself to stay comfortable. But comfort never created greatness. Execution did. Every moment you spend excusing yourself is a moment you could have been executing. And the scary part is, you don't get those moments back. Once they're gone forever. That's why you've got to stop protecting your excuses and start protecting your future. Accountability is a game changer. Left to yourself, it's too easy to negotiate with your weakness. It's too easy to say, "I'll do it later," or "It's not that serious." And before you know it, days turn into weeks, and weeks turn into years. That's why you need somebody in your life who refuses to let you slide. Somebody who calls you out when you're slipping, who doesn't buy your excuses, who won't let you settle for average when greatness is in you. When you're accountable to yourself alone, you can justify anything. You can convince yourself that missing one workout, skipping one study session, or delaying one phone call doesn't matter. But when you've got someone holding you to a higher standard, that justification doesn't work anymore. Accountability removes your wiggle room. It forces you to face the truth you'd rather avoid. The most successful people in the world aren't just disciplined. They're surrounded by accountability. Athletes have coaches. Business leaders have mentors. Even the strongest people know they need someone to sharpen them, someone to challenge them, someone to keep them honest. Because no matter how driven you are, there will be days when you want to quit, when you want to cut corners, when you want to lower the bar. Accountability is the voice that says, "Not today." And accountability isn't about being comfortable. The right accountability partner will make you uncomfortable. They'll tell you when you're slacking. They'll call you out when you're hiding. They'll demand more from you than you want to give in the moment. And that pressure, though it's tough, is what pushes you to grow beyond your limits. If you want to stop procrastinating, stop surrounding yourself with people who let you off the hook. Stop keeping company with those who accept your excuses and clap for your bare minimum. Find the ones who see your potential and won't rest until you reach it. Find the ones who remind you of your commitment when you forget. Find the ones who don't care about your feelings in the moment because they care too much about your future. Most people procrastinate because they only think about the cost of doing the work. They think about how hard it's going to be, how tired they're going to feel, how much time and energy it will take. But they never stop to think about the cost of not doing it. And that cost is far greater. Procrastination doesn't just delay your goals, it steals your future. Every day you put off your dream, you push your destiny further away. Every time you say, I'll do it tomorrow, you're handing over a piece of your future that you'll never get back. That book you keep talking about writing, every day you wait, someone else is publishing theirs. That business idea you've been sitting on, every day you wait, somebody else is building the company you were supposed to start. That body you want, that skill you want, that life you want, it doesn't freeze in time waiting for you. The world keeps moving with or without you. The most painful thing in life isn't failure, it's regret. Failure teaches you. Failure strengthens you. Failure still moves you forward. Regret chains you to the past. Regret keeps you awake at night, replaying all the chances you didn't take, all the moments you wasted, all the dreams you let slip away because you thought you had more time. You've got to start visualizing what procrastination really costs you. Picture yourself 5 years from now, stuck in the same place, living the same life, talking about the same dream. Picture the opportunities you'll miss, the relationships you'll lose, the life you could have had but never touched because you kept hitting pause. When you see that clearly, when you feel that way, procrastination stops looking harmless and starts looking dangerous. The truth is, the future is being written right now. Every choice you make today is shaping the person you're becoming. Procrastination writes a future of regret, of wasted time, of unfulfilled potential. Action writes a future of growth, of progress, of dreams realized. You don't get to choose whether time passes. You only get to choose what you do with it while it's here.